Chapter 9. Varjak's gone to sleep. I wonder what's going to happen. We all know what he does when he goes to sleep. Varjak dreamed that night. He dreamed he was back in Mesopotamia. He tasted the wild mint air. He blinked in the bright, silent sunlight. The sky was so clear and blue, he could see the stars, even though it was daytime. He was on the mountain with Jalal. They were standing on the summit. It was a sheer precipice, an open drop. They could walk no further without falling. Yet, above them, ahead of them, was that mountain range, impossibly huge and perfect, and impossibly far away. "Are you ready to climb those mountains?" said Jalal. "How?" said Varjak. "We can't climb any further." "Sometimes," said Jalal, "in order to go up, you must go down." Varjak looked down into whiteness. At first he thought he was staring at the snowy slopes of the nearest mountain, but then the whiteness opened up and drifted away, and he realised with a horrible jolt that he'd actually been looking at a bank of clouds. He was so high, he was higher than the clouds. He felt giddy. "We can't go down there," he said. "It's too far." "A single jump should do it," said Jalal cheerfully. "But we'll fall." "Precisely. We need only fall, and we will be there." Varjak looked through the clouds and saw that the nearest mountain slopes were much further below than he'd thought. He couldn't be sure where space ended and the mountain began. He felt dizzy thinking about it. The view wobbled dangerously and he had to look up. "It's too far, Jalal. We'll never make it." Jalal drew back. His amber eyes sparkled in the sunlight. He raised a paw in readiness. Then he raced at the precipice, the drop, the edge of the mountain, and sprang forwards into space. "Jalal, no!" cried Varjak. He rushed to the edge, just in time to see the old cat arcing through the air, plunging into the clouds, and disappearing from view. He was gone. Gone! Varjak stood alone on top of the mountain. He shook his head. This was madness. He couldn't jump off a mountain. He'd be killed. His body would smash to pieces. He'd surely die. Yet Jalal had done it. He looked down. His stomach churned. He didn't like being alone here. The wild mint air was going to his head again. He cursed his mad old ancestor. But what else could he do? Jalal left him no choice. He drew back, shut his eyes, and still cursing the name of Jalal, Varjak ran at the edge of the mountain. He sprang forwards and flew into the clearest, bluest sky. Whooping, shrieking, soaring, he plunged through clouds. Air rushed through his fur, his whiskers, his face. He was falling through space and whomp! Finally landing lightly on his paws, safe on the other side. He'd done it. He'd crossed the chasm. He'd jumped the void. He'd made it to the other mountain. Jalal stood beside him, combing his whiskers. "Not so hard once you let go, is it?" said the old cat. He gestured at a path winding up into the heights ahead of him. "And now we have fallen, we can climb once again." What does that dream mean, do you think? What is the message that Jalal is getting, was trying to get to Varjak Paul? What's going to happen in chapter 2 and how is he going to use that message? Not chapter 2, chapter 10, and how is he going to use that message? And we're going to have to wait until after the Easter break. So we've got 2 weeks until we're going to find out what happens in chapter 10. So tune in then. Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter break. And I hope that you have a look at our Easter activities that we've sent and have a go at some of them. And have a look at the videos that I have made with my Chambers tribe that will help you with some of those. Bye bye.